Hey folks, happy Tuesday to you. We continue our December devotional here at FUMCCV. The word for December is incarnation. And today we are in the Gospel of John. Today is Tuesday, December 6th. And the prayer prompt is, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. And the scripture is John chapter 1. So John is one of the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So turn over to John chapter 1. As you're turning there, I would remind you that John is the last of the Gospels written. And it is written much later than the other three, and is written to an audience that is completely Greco-Roman. And it is written in a much sort of different flavor, much more philosophical, theological than the others. And for example, in Matthew and Luke, it has a story of Jesus being born of a virgin and the stable and the manger and all that kind of stuff. And the Gospel of John doesn't. It doesn't have any of that. It's much more philosophical, theoretical in terms of how Jesus gets here in the flesh. And that is representative of the ways in which the Greco-Roman people would have thought about things. Remember, the Greco-Roman world is the world that gave us Plato and Socrates and all of those philosophical folks. And those people predated Jesus. And so this philosophical, theoretical way of talking about God is very much the way that the Greco-Romans would have understood and thought about God. And so John tells the story of Jesus in language and images that they could understand, which were very different than the Jewish Hebrew people from Jerusalem. And so John starts his gospel not with a child being born of a virgin that comes from a line of King David, but rather this: in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. And then we go to verse 14. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. And so here, the incarnation story is not about the presence of God coming in the form of a child. It's about the presence of God, the light of God coming down incarnate here in earth and enfleshed in a person. Now, one of the great things about four Gospels is that it gives us a diversity of understanding, so that the stories that we understand the best, we can lean on those stories, or it gives us a diversity, and so we might be able to take multiple meanings from the different Gospels and to spread out our understanding of God and Christ. And so here we do that, not as we think of Christmas as the birth of a child, but rather Christmas as a light coming down from heaven that will illuminate all things for us. I pray that this Christmas, that light might be God's gift to you. God bless. Have a great day.